Somewhere beneath Zenkoji Temple in Nagano City, there is a corridor so completely dark that you cannot see your own hand stretched in front of your face. You feel your way along a wall, following a thin metal railing, until your fingers find a large iron key mounted somewhere in the blackness. According to a 1400-year-old belief, touching that key grants the same blessing as seeing the temple's most sacred object. A statue of the Buddha so holy that even the temple's chief priest has never been permitted to look at it. And that is what Nagano is all about. Not a ski slope, not a postcard, something ancient and slightly unknowable. Nagano Prefecture sits in the geographical centre of Honshu, surrounded on all sides by mountains. 3 ranges of the Japan Alps press in from every direction, and those mountains have shaped everything here. The food, the history, the cold, the snow. From Tokyo, the Shinkansen gets you to Nagano City in around 80 to 100 minutes. From that single station, you have access to one of the most varied and rewarding prefectures in the country. And Zenkoji is where most people start. The temple was founded in the 7th century to house the first Buddhist statue ever brought into Japan, carried from the Korean peninsula in the year 552. The statue itself has been kept from all human eyes since 642, which means it's been hidden for nearly 1400 years. Every 6 years, a replica is displayed publicly for a few weeks, and the next showing falls in 2027. On those occasions, millions of people make the journey just for that. The main hall, a vast wooden structure rebuilt in 1707, is one of Japan's designated national treasures. Entry to the outer grounds is free, but the inner sanctuary, which includes access to the underground Okaidan passage and a small history museum, costs 600 yen. The walk from Nagano Station takes about 30 minutes along a flat approach road lined with small restaurants, covered sweet stalls and shops selling shinshu miso and carved wooden souvenirs. In the very early morning, before the tourist bus arrive, the wide stone courtyard in front of the main halls holds a particular kind of quiet. Pigeons gather on the roof, incense smoke rises straight up in still air, and a few elderly pilgrims are already at prayer. Now, if you assume from the name recognition alone that Nagano was essentially a ski destination with a famous monkey park attached, it's worth reconsidering. Because an hour south of Nagano City, in Matsumoto, stands a castle that has almost no equal in Japan for what it actually feels like to be inside it. Matsumoto Castle was constructed in 1594 during the Warring States period, and it's the oldest surviving 5-storey, 6-floor castle keep in the country, designated a national treasure. Where most Japanese castles are white, Matsumoto is black. Black lacquered pine boards over white plaster give it a silhouette so sharp against the backdrop of the Northern Alps that the building looks almost cut from the landscape rather than built into it. The moat surrounding it is wide and clean, reflecting those dark walls in green water where koi and swan circle slowly in the shadows. Now inside is something that no reproduction or reconstruction can replicate. The original steep wooden staircases, the smell of old timber, the narrow windows through which archers once fired, and from the top floor, on a clear day, a panoramic view of the city and mountains. Now the castle nearly didn't survive. After the Meiji era abolished the feudal system in 1868, many castles across Japan were sold at auction for demolition. Local citizens in Matsumoto raised funds and fought for the building's preservation. The keep they saved has been standing for more than 400 years. Right now, adult admission is 1,200 yen with a digital ticket, and the castle opens at 8:30 in the morning. Getting there from Nagano City takes about 50 minutes on the limited express train, and a straightforward connection that makes Matsumoto a natural second base on any itinerary. About 45 minutes north of Nagano City, a very different kind of place has been drawing visitors since the 1960s. The Jigokudani Wild Monkey Park takes its name, Hell's Valley, from the steam that rises through frozen ground along the steep rocky banks of the Yokuyugawa River. At an altitude of 850 metres, the area sits under snow for a third of the year. The monkeys that live here found their reason to stay in the 1960s when a tourist hot spring was constructed nearby. A young monkey entered the pool one day, discovered that warm water was considerably more tolerable than standing in snow, and the behaviour spread through the troop. It's been passed down through generations ever since. The monkeys bathe primarily in winter, and December through to March gives you the best chance of seeing them in the water. In late spring and early summer, the park enters its birthing season, and infant monkeys clinging to their mothers as the snow melts around them is something else entirely. Getting there involves a bus from Nagano Station East Exit, and it takes around 45 minutes, followed by a 35-minute walk through forest. Now, it's important to remember that the monkeys are wild animals and the park rules are clear. No touching, no feeding, no surrounding an individual animal. They simply happen to have developed a habit that makes them look in a certain warm light, remarkably like people relaxing after a long week. Before leaving the area, it's worth making the journey to Togakushi, a highland plateau about an hour's bus ride north of Nagano City. The approach to the main shrine follows a 2-kilometre avenue of cedar trees that are over 400 years old. The trunks are enormous. The canopy closes overhead, and the quality of light through those branches changes the way the place feels entirely. The shrine complex connects to the Shinto creation myth of Amaterasu, the sun goddess, and it's been drawing pilgrims for centuries. Togakushi is also one of the most respected soba destinations in a prefecture that is arguably the most serious buckwheat producing region in the whole of Japan. The cool highland climate and well-drained volcanic soil make ideal conditions for cultivation, and the mountain water that goes into the noodles is clean in a way that genuinely changes the flavour. The traditional presentation here is bochimori, small bundled portions arranged in a bamboo colander designed to be dipped and eaten individually. Nagano has more soba restaurants than any other prefecture in Japan, and Matsumoto and the streets around the castle are just equally good places to find them. The best time to visit depends entirely on what you're here for. Winter, from December through March, is when the monkey park is at its most dramatic. Spring brings cherry blossom to Matsumoto Castle's moat garden, and autumn turns the mountains amber and red above Togakushi's Cedar Avenue. From Tokyo, the whole prefecture is accessible in 2 or 3 days. One night in Nagano City covers Zenkoji and Jigokudani, a second night in Matsumoto covers the castle and Old Town, and Togakushi makes a clean day trip from either base. Back in the darkness beneath Zenkoji Temple, your fingers finally find that key on the wall. You can't see it because you can't see anything, but the key is there. And whether or not you believe what the temple says it means to find it, the weight of centuries in that blackness is completely real. Nagano keeps doing this, presenting you with something that started 1400 years ago and is still quietly in operation. That is the thing most visitors don't expect, and the thing they tend to remember longest.